Oh, you're sideways.
Y'all are sideways.
So are you.
So are you.
What do we do? I have no idea what to do.
Oh, I don't.
Hi.
Wait.
There you go.
How's that?
That's better.
That's perfect.
Okay, I need to turn this thing around. If it'll hold it, well, crap. Okay, wait. No, it's moving. Okay, wait.
There you
Good.
go.
Beautiful. Perfect.
Hold on.
Hey. All right, now Vicky's moving.
I'm adjusting.
All right. You do what you do, because I have no idea what we're doing.
How are you?
I'm doing okay. Yeah.
Good. Well, I'm so sorry we're late, and I'm glad that I just saw my phone. We have been filming. It's been a crazy day, filming and all different kinds of things, and it just completely slipped my mind. So thank you for reminding us.
Oh, you're welcome.
Well, there we go.
I took anxiety meds, and I was sitting here, and it's 4 o'clock. What have I done wrong? What have I done wrong?
Oh my God.
And I was like, hey, I have got to ask them what we're doing, because I don't know what we're doing.
Well, you've seen some of our other Zoomtime conversations, right?
I have, but I've never done a Zoom myself. I mean, as far as even having a Zoom meeting with anyone.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if someone was doing it. It was sideways, you know. I didn't know. It was just the whole process. I wasn't. So yeah. Anyway,
your mic is bleeping out a little bit.
Do what?
Your mic is bleeping out a little bit.
And I know
maybe I'm talking way too fast. What to do to fix it?
Well, are you on your phone, or are you on an iPad, or what?
I'm on my phone, and I'm right near my router. So
okay, so
yeah,
it's almost like I don't know. It's almost like it's not picking up the first part of your conversation.
Your words, yeah.
Oh, you know, when I have my visits with my doctor in the e-visit, we have to wait. Like if I quit talking, then he has to wait a minute and then start talking.
Oh.
I don't know, because you just cut out right there.
But it's because I talked. So it's almost like there's a delay, a long delay. So after I get done talking, you have to count to 1 or 2, and then you start talking.
Right. Did that work?
Yeah, I think it did until I interrupted you.
Well, we'll have to be mindful of that, I guess.
All right. Well, let's just start with this. How about you introduce yourself?
Okay. Well, my name is Shirley Hall Fleeman. Did you get that, Shirley Hall Fleeman? And I am a child of God, a wife, a mother of 2 fur babies, and I am a housewife. My husband works as a mariner on the intercoastal waterways, moving petroleum up and down the waterways. So he's on 20 days a month. And so I run the house.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So his runs are they, when you say 20 days a month, is that like 20 days all in one shot and then you get 10 days with him, or is it split up?
It's 20 days straight that he is on the boat, and then it's really 9 days, because travel time, depending on whether he flies or drives, it depends on, there's just a lot of variables that decides whether he flies or drives. So we have about 9 days a month together, which is crazy. We've been married 10 years, and I don't like it, but That's what he does, and he loves it. He loves the job. He would rather be home, but he loves the job.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't think I could do that.
You know, when he first started, it was like, oh, well, this isn't that bad. But as it goes on, you realize you see your husband 10 days a month. I figured it up one time, and I don't have the numbers right now, but it was like I saw him in 8 years. I saw him 367 days or something out of 8 years. I mean, seriously.
Wow.
So it's not fun. It's not fun.
Well, I know if he goes to town and he's gone for a couple of hours, I'm bored, and I'm texting him, when are you going to be home?
Well, thank God we're in the time that we are right now, that we have all this social media and we have all this access to each other, as far as we text all the time. He works 6-hour shifts. So he works, like, he gets up at 6 in the morning. He works till noon. He goes to bed at noon and gets up at 6. And he does that 24 hours a day for 20 days straight. I'm like, that's not even healthy. That can't be healthy. But that's
what happens when he's at home. I mean, how does he readjust when he's home for 9 days?
You said it exactly. He adjusts. Like, he'll stay up longer, and then he'll be more tired the next night. He just kind of has to reshift his energy, and like he gets headaches because he's used to sleeping twice a day. His coffee intake is different. It's just a whole deal. I mean, it really is a deal, but he eventually adjusts. And then when he goes back to the boat, depending on where they are as in geography, where they are, because they could be anywhere. They could be Brownsville, Corpus Christi. They could be up further, on the coast and stuff. And if he goes to the boat and he has to go right on his shift, it really makes a difference what he did the night before, as far as sleep, And they require them to have a certain amount of sleep before they go on, because he's a tankerman, and he actually, like, they'll pull up to the reservoirs of the oil, like at, say, Exxon. And he gets out on these 300-foot barges and hooks up the hoses for that fuel to be transferred, or any type of additive or whatever. They carry different things. And so he hooks up the hose, and he has to stay out on that barge for 6 hours for that load to be transferred on into their tanks on their barges. And if you're ever on the coast, you'll see these boats. They're called tow boats, and they go up and down the intracoastal waterways, and they're moving product, gasoline product, whatever, all the time. Yeah. So if he goes on shift when he gets on the boat, he has to make sure that he's had adequate sleep the night before.
Yeah, I would imagine anything could happen. I mean, gosh, I just see all kinds of possible accidents that could happen if he's not right on his game and paying it, complete attention to what he's doing. I don't imagine he's a smoker when he's doing that, right?
He's not anyway. Oh no, there's no kind of anything like that. They can't even have their phones out on the barges
because of the electricity could cause a spark or whatever, right?
Correct. That's correct. Because they had a fire, I think it was 2 years ago, near their hub. It's called the Rock, and in Channelview, Texas. And a couple of those reservoirs caught on fire. Not theirs. I mean, it was the gas companies or whatever. And they caught on fire, and they couldn't, cut it out. I mean, they could not get rid of it because there's so many of them that are together. It's the big white, they look like silos, short silos. And I'm probably not calling them by the right name, but that's where all the petroleum products are stored. And once that catches on fire, or even if they have a leak, like say he's hooking up the hose and something isn't perfect in the perfect position, Of course, if they have the least little bit oil leak on anything, everything has to be shut down. And because none of that can get in the water. You know what happens when that happens. Yeah, it's horrible. So yeah, they have to be on top of their game and rested up and healthy. And thank God he's a biker and a runner, and he's, you know, constantly working out. That's what he does on his free time on the boat when I'm sitting here picking up hobbies. Yeah, so that, leading into that, in 2017 and 18, I was a caregiver for a retired oncologist, and she had dementia and short-term memory loss, and she became combative. I'm gonna tell a story how I got to you all. And I didn't realize the stress that was on me, but she became pretty unruly and combative. It wasn't her, it was the disease. And I kept telling myself, you know, her daughters were begging me, please stay. It was a private, you know, private caregiving in her home. And they said, I know she's just out of control, but please stay. So I would say, you know, I'm okay. But then I would realize as I was driving home, I was taking stress relieving breaths, like, you know, like for 30 minutes on the way home. And I was working 10-hour shifts, and that it was constant, intense, just in the air, just anything if I moved, you know, it didn't take much to set her off. And she would get in my face, she would throw things. It was, you know, and they were extremely wealthy. And she was, like I said, a retired oncologist. And it wasn't her. It wasn't her. It was a disease. And I loved her. I loved caring for her. I took her to church, took her to get her nails done. And, you know, at the drop of a hat, it's a totally different person. It's a totally different person. So I ended the employment. And a month after I ended the employment, I started having heart issues. And what I thought was my heart, right? I was having my heart was pounding out of my chest. I was sweaty hands. My mind would change. It was like I couldn't think straight. And so I went to my doctor, and he said, I want you to see the cardiologist. So I went to her, and she said she did an echo on my heart and all kinds of tests, right? And she looked at me, she said, and I've been to her before, and she said, Shirley, I believe you have PTSD and depression and anxiety. Oh. And I, no, I don't. She said, okay. I said, well, PTSD is like a military thing, right? And she said, no, it's not. So she sent me to a psychologist and a counselor. So I went to her, and she said, Shirley, you have PTSD. And I said, I don't think I have PTSD. I mean, I have anxiety, but I don't think I have PTSD. She said, okay, well, here's a book. You read a few pages of it, and if it doesn't make any sense to you, if it doesn't sound like you at all, then we'll find out what it is. So I brought the book home, and the first 2 pages, I busted out crying because it was me. It was what I was dealing with. And it was comfort knowing that what it was, that it wasn't my heart, but yet PTSD and anxiety is, it's very hard to deal with. It's a very, it has a mind of its own. It's not like I get stressed out about something and I have a panic attack or an anxiety attack. It can come anytime. I was having 7 to 8 panic attacks a day, and they put a Holter monitor on me. They tracked everything and came up, and then my PCP said, Shirley, this is PTSD and anxiety. And I went, okay, that's 3. All right. How many have to tell me, right? So that was hard to deal with. And so I became isolated in my home. I didn't feel comfortable when I would get in traffic and the traffic would stop and I couldn't get off the freeway. My hands, I would grip the steering wheel so hard that I would hurt my hands because I was thinking, where's the hospital? I've got to get off here. What if I have a heart attack? Because it feels like you can't breathe. I mean, you get shortness of breath. Mm. And so I just stayed home. So I guess it was 18 months of meds and seeing the psychologist that it started getting better. And then my therapist left her practice. Right? And I'm like, oh my gosh, she was falling asleep during our sessions. And I'm not that boring, I don't think. I had a story, right? So, well, before that, I asked her, I said, Dr. Blank, right? That's what I'm going to say. Dr. Blank, are you okay? And she said, why are you asking? I said, because you're falling asleep. And she said, no, I'm fine. So then when it happened the third visit, I said, Dr. Biggs, I'm really concerned about you, like, because you really are falling asleep. You look exhausted. And she started crying. Mm-hmm. And I am trying to console her, and I'm the patient, right? Wow. And so I back away, but then she actually left her practice. So she had some stuff going on that, that she was having to deal with too. So I was just sitting around one day and and then a tree fell on our house. I was getting better and a tree fell on our house and it messed up our shed. It busted the side of our house off. The tree, it's a huge tree and it was in the neighbor's yard, right? It just tore up the fence, the shed, the house, the air conditioner outside was crushed. Thank God no one was hurt. I wasn't even home. And I had gone to the store probably 5 minutes up the street because I wasn't getting out much. Anyway, I come home and this tree's on the house and my husband is on the boat, right?
Yeah.
What do I do? So we hired a contractor. He turned out to be a not good contractor, right? He was dishonest. Anyway, it started the anxiety all over again. It triggered it right back up. And so they were working, but I kept telling, okay, y'all aren't doing this. And he didn't know what he was doing because I was sitting there watching videos of how it should be done and they weren't doing it. And I was telling him, you didn't even line those boards up straight, I mean, really. So I had to end up firing him, but as I was going through the stuff, there was a piece of wood sitting there. So I picked up the piece of wood and I had an old wood burner that my husband got when his grandfather passed away. He inherited it. So I picked up the burner and just started messing around with the wood. And I thought, oh, that's fun. So I drew out this, it said Cowboys. And so I just started burning it with that wood, and it piqued my interest. And that took me probably 3 or 4 days to make that sign. And, so after I made that sign, I thought, there's got to be somebody out there doing something. I want more. I want to do something more than just a burner. I don't know how to get into this. I don't know what the deal is, but I'm gonna look. So I started Googling making wood signs and guess who popped up?
Crazy.
Y'all. And for about probably 4 months, I woke up watching your videos. I went to bed watching your videos. I was totally consumed with and excited about what you were doing because it was so doable. I mean, it was like you were doing it right in front of my face. And I was like, how in the world is he doing that? And so I watched videos. I mean, I didn't even bother looking for anybody else. I was like, this is the guy. He knows what to do. I am just sticking with this. Actually, I did look around once and this guy was doing it. And I was like, oh, he needs to watch Eric's videos. So videos for all those months, and I guess my husband, he would say, are you watching those videos again? And I'm like, I am. I can't help it. I can't help it. I said, I can do this. I really think I can do it. And he said, well, we don't even have a router. I said, but that's not a problem, right? So Christmas, he bought me a router. In 2020, he bought me a router, and he bought me the DeWalt 618 with the plunge thingy. I've never used it. It's on there. And I've never used anything like that. Now I'm pretty crafty on different things. You know, I've always been this, and I have a love for wood that I've seen some other of the carvers talk about, right? Mm-hmm. But outside of routing, I love wood. I love it. So that was something that drew me too. And so he bought me the router, and I sat on it for like 2 months. And I kept watching the videos and kept watching the videos. And finally, I watched a video, and you said, hey, if you have any questions, just give me a call. I was like, I'm not calling him. I mean, I don't even know him, right? I don't know him. And he is like big, you know, route guy from Arizona. And I'm like, my anxiety up because I would think maybe I should call him because I'm really struggling with the anxiety. But yet then when I think about calling you, it would get worse. So one night at 8 o'clock, I thought, I'm just going to call him, and the worst thing that can happen is he don't answer, or he tells me I'm dumb, or, you know, I don't know, something. Or, you know, why are you calling me at 8 o'clock at night? And I think Vicki answered the phone, and she said, yeah, he's right here. And I was like, oh my gosh, he's getting on the phone. Like a crazy person.
Oh my God.
I'm sitting there, my heart's pounding out of my chest, and you go like, hi. And I'm like, hi. And you said, well, this is Eric. And I said, okay. Oh, okay. Well, I have this problem. And I start talking to you. Anyway, it was that I was afraid to turn the router on. And you said, okay, this is what you need to do. Don't plug it in. Don't put a bit in it. I didn't even know what a bit was, really. I mean, honestly, I'd seen you use them, but I didn't have them. I didn't have the bits. So I wasn't going to stick a bit in anyway. You said, turn the router on, set it on a board, and just move it around. No electricity, no bit, just move it around, get the feel of the router. So I did that. I was like, oh, okay, well, thank you. You know, I think we talked for a few more minutes, but I don't remember. I don't remember the conversation. I just remember thinking, wow, what a lifeline to, you know, to be able to call somebody that can just address the situation, and knowing as anxious as I was, that you were just so so easy to talk to, you know. And I thought, do what?
Just a normal guy.
Right. That was it. It's so approachable and just really laid back and so very kind. So very kind. I thought that was one of the that was the kind of things that, because of where I was with the anxiety, that it just all just kind of calmed down. And you just said, all you do is put that router on the board and move it around. I was like, I can do that, you know. So that's pretty much what started, you know, so I got the board, did the whole moving around thing, and I'm impatient. That's the truth. That is true. And I did it a few times, and I thought, what did he say to do next? So I plugged it in, and I went like, oh my gosh, this thing is so, it's the 618. It was loud, and it was, I didn't have things in my ears, and, you know, anyways, but I did the whole moving it around, and I thought, okay, I can do this. So I would go back and watch another video. I would stop moving it around on the board and pull up a video and go, okay, he does it, I can do it. So I ended up starting to make signs. My first one was absolutely horrific, right? And it was just a straight line. So then I drew a B, and then I did the B. It wasn't too good either, you know. But here it is, 2021, and I had a goal, and I think I may have told you about it. I told myself that I wanted to set a goal to be really, really good within a year. I thought that was an attainable goal. And with the anxiety, so I would go out to the shop, and I would just mess around with boards. I had no idea how to buy boards. Oh my gosh, that buying board stuff. Oh my gosh. And drying it and putting all this stuff on it. I was like, I just thought he bought boards that were ready to route. And so what did I do? I go find a video. How do I buy a board that isn't chippy, right? Soft, hard, soft, hard. Oh, I think I called you on that one. I said, I'm buying boards and they are crap. I mean, I'm telling you, and they're cedar fencing, right?
Yeah. Find
a video. Then I'd watch about 15 more videos. Thank God you have a library of videos, because it's completely through this journey. And for me, knowledge is power, and knowledge is comfort for me. Mm-hmm. And the more information I have, the more confident I feel. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so I had to go through that whole buying wood, put them on the stackers or whatever you slide. What are they?
Stickers.
Stickers. The stickers. And my husband said, oh, so the new shop, right? The 16 by 20. And I've got all this wood stacked up, and my husband's like, where am I going to put my blank? You know, and I'm like, I don't know, but that would stay in there. Because once you get it sanded and you get your sanding sealer or whatever, and you got it all set up, I don't want to be moving it around, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, and then I was getting better, right? I would go out to the shop and route from 8 o'clock in the morning till it got dark, and sometimes after dark. I would just be in there just routing. And I noticed that the PTSD and the anxiety, I would forget about it.
Yeah.
I was so focused, and yes, my hands hurt from holding the router too tight, right? And I'm so anxious. Then I have to remind myself to breathe. So I realized when I was out there, I didn't have all these heart palpitations and all this mind stuff going on. And so I said, wow, this has just been total therapy for me. My therapist quit. I picked up woodwork. So then COVID hit, right?
Yep.
All the anxiety and everything just came back like crazy. So I had to take some time off. I couldn't even route. I mean, it's really been tough. And I still get out there. I'm still making signs, and still learning. And I'm just so appreciative that you both were so available. And Vicky's projects is exciting. I haven't got into any of that yet because I'm still learning this, you know.
One thing at a time.
Yeah, and I'm scared of that. I'm scared of doing this stuff. So I'll have to pick your videos up again when I get ready to do that. But
Yeah, call me. I'll help you.
Oh, you're so sweet. See, that's what I'm talking about. Wow. I don't know. I want to tell you that I really know that it was a godsend. I mean, I really believe that the struggle that I had was at a place that I really couldn't handle. And this just came at the most opportune time. And your exposure and the availability I don't know if it saved my life, but it saved my brain.
Saved your sanity.
Huh?
Saved your sanity.
It did. It did, because, and I still deal with it on a daily basis. I take medicine for it, and I'm set up to see another therapist and stuff. But I told him, if I can just get out in the shop and route, with this crazy storm we had, well, I have no electricity in my shop yet. It's getting done, but we don't have it in there yet. So if I can get out in the shop and work, then it puts me in a different state of mind. And I wanted to show Vicki, because I saw you on a video of y'all doing the transfer process. The Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is what I did.
Oh, that's it.
That's it.
That's the same one, huh?
That is gorgeous.
Yeah. You have to see the eyes. I worked I think the eyes took me about 2 hours to get the light in his eyes right. I don't know if you can.
Oh my gosh. That is
beautiful. I love that.
That is so spectacular. So are those the colors on there, the flesh and the hair, are those stained? Is that stained?
Okay. So yes, the answer is yes. The face is stained. The thorns is paint of the color that I painted my shop.
Okay.
And then I highlighted it with some acrylic paint that you buy at Walmart or Joann's or whatever. And his eyes and things, the color in his eyes, the brown, I can't see them really good, but yeah. So this is my favorite so far. Like your last one is always your favorite, but this isn't my last. I've done my, this is the last one. This is the last one that I did this. I painted this yesterday.
Oh, how cute is that?
Very
Who's Katie?
cool.
Who's Katie?
Yeah, Katie's Throne. She is a hairstylist, and I made this for her. So it doesn't have a finish on it yet, but it's a cedar. And I think it's right up there with some of my favorites. And I made, I don't know if y'all seen that.
I love something cattle dog.
I love my cattle dog, Sammy Jack.
Oh, that is cool. Wow, you did a great job on that.
Shirley, you have really become a great sign carver. That stuff looks great.
You make me cry.
Gonna make me cry because I love it so much. Oh, look. Yeah, this is an old, I did it on the back of an old carving and was trying to stain. Yeah. So, and then I did this one, but I routed the, I don't know if you can see.
Oh, Dallas, skyline of Dallas.
Yeah, it's a skyline. I just used the router to take it down to make it flat. Use that upcut bit.
Yep. Yep.
And then,
so the skyline stuff is higher. It's a higher level than the rest of the board.
actually, the opposite.
The opposite.
It's inset.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I put Swarovski crystals in there.
Oh my God.
200 crystals in that skyline. And then there's one tiny blue one. Out of all the clear ones, there's one tiny blue one. You can't really,
that is awesome.
Yeah. So last one.
The anchor hold?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Very nice.
And on that one, I wanted to do something on the sides here, but I haven't done that yet. And I took a round over bit and just kind of rounded, after I routed it, then I ran around it with the router and flattened it out. Yeah.
That looks great.
Oh, I did your background here.
Looks good.
You know, yeah, I did the background there. I like that. So I always try to do something a little different on each sign.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thank y'all so much. It's a very important season in my life for that to have come to me, and so just so wonderful and so helpful.
Well, you have come. Oh my gosh, you have come a long ways. I think you definitely reached your goal. Your signs look amazing. I mean, really, you've come so far. So if it was in 2020, so you've only been carving, what, about a year then? Or is that about the right time?
That is about the right time, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you reached your goal, darling. Those things look great.
Thank you. I still make some firewood every once in a while. But you know what? A lot of it has to do with the wood. I mean, if it's not, you know, I mean, you know this, but I'm telling for the people that don't. If you do not watch that video and know how to pick wood, you'll end up getting wood that is, you think you're not getting good, you're not improving your skill, but it truly, you couldn't have done any better with that piece of wood because it's chippy and it's hard soft, right?
Yep. And that's why I've said for years and years and years, about 80% of all of this is the right bits and the right wood. And if you don't have those, man, you're just shooting yourself in the foot. There's only so much you can do. If your wood is bad or if your bits are bad or both, then you're really up a creek if you don't have both of those handled.
That is correct. That is so true. And I bought select pine that didn't treat me good. I mean, I routed the 10 commandments for a lady. Oh my gosh, that word, I mean, it was so many letters. I carved it times.
Oh my God.
It kept chipping out on me. And finally I was like, okay, I got to do a different piece of wood, right? Anyway, yeah, so that is true. The wood thing has been probably the largest challenge for me because I haven't found a sawmill here.
Yeah.
I haven't done that yet. Sometimes I'm afraid to drive, so
but
I just haven't.
The one thing that I will say is obviously you've made lots of signs now, and so you're getting better at being able to pick the right boards of what you have available to you. You can now look at something and inspect it, and probably almost 9 out of 10 times you can pick out the right board that will carve well. Am I right?
You are right. And because I watched that video and people are looking at me and I'm picking through the boards and I'm pulling them off and they're dropped like this, and I've got a big old stack because I'm not buying it if that grain isn't spread out, right?
He does the same thing.
Yep.
So they also look at me because as soon as I find the wood, the pieces that I want, I'm standing there and I'm restacking because Eric in his video said, don't put that wood unstacked. You put it right back where you got it. So I'll make sure I take gloves with me you know, a measuring tape, you know, just different stuff, and look for the woods. And oh my gosh, that glue has saved me so many times with those knots and those, what do you call lines that come out?
Correct, yeah.
Oh, little splits and cracks and stuff from the knots. Yeah.
Yeah. That CA glue has just, not CA, what is
Starbond.
it's the Starbond. Thank you, Vicki. The Starbond has really helped me be able to save some wood that, so that I wouldn't have been able to use.
Okay. Well, we're going long, so excuse me.
I'm choking.
I'm getting all choked up. So
Me too.
so I mean, you've given so much advice here, but we always ask the question of somebody that feels, and obviously you know how it feels to be apprehensive, maybe scared of the router, or you know, just starting out. Do you have some advice for somebody, and especially I think from a lady's perspective that may have be a little intimidated by power tools or whatever? Do you have any advice?
Well, of course, watch your videos. Just take your time and truly try to relax and breathe. Just breathe and get you a good piece of wood. I mean, you can start with scrap, but it's just it's discouraging when, you know, it doesn't go well. So yeah, and just be patient with yourself. And I hear that all the time, people on Zooms, you know, just be patient with yourself, and you know, you'll get there. You will truly get there. And I mean, you really do need a good router, and you have all that information out there. I even bought the little Harbor Freight. I didn't do so well with that. I needed to move on to something, I think, heavier. I mean, just all your tips, just like spraying the silicone on the base plate and stuff like that. Oh, I just felt like I so knew what I was doing. Yeah, like, oh, look what I did today. But yeah, just be patient and just set yourself a goal and practice every day. I mean, if you can.
Yeah.
Get out there and find your zone and just practice and keep going. And if it isn't right the first time, make it again. It's okay.
Yeah.
Don't be hard on yourself. Yeah.
Great advice.
Yeah.
Great advice. I love it. Terrific.
Thank you.
All right, darling. Gosh, it's just been so much fun. I'm so glad that we got to actually almost kind of meet face to face, because I know we've talked.
It's really neat to get to see you and talk to you on what's all been happening all this time, and you know where I've come from and where I am now, and even watching your business evolve is encouraging to me, because I haven't sold very many signs. I'm not marketing them.
Yeah.
I'm interested in doing that, but well, honestly, I wanted to get to a certain place with my routing before I put my name on the back of one of them and it not be really good.
Yeah.
So, you know, I hope to do that.
You're to the point where you could definitely sell them, darling, because those things look great. I mean, people would love to pay you for those signs. So you just put them in front of people and let people see them, and you will get some sales if that's what you want. Some people don't. Some people would rather just give them away, or they're just doing it for fun or whatever. But what you're making there, that stuff is valuable. People will pay for it.
Yeah, and this is the thing on the on this one here. My thought is to take this to the lady that I know that is the hairdresser. I made this for her, and I want to deliver it to the salon. And something could happen there.
Exactly.
That's how it works.
Oh, I want to take something and I wanted it to be very, very nice.
Yeah.
I painted these inside letters with a paintbrush.
Wow.
But I didn't have a panic attack while I was doing it.
Progress.
So hopefully I go in the salon and the other ladies see it and they want one to put up in front of their, stations.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it happens, I'm going to be stressed. Never mind. Thank y'all so much.
It's been so much fun. Such a pleasure to again have this time together. So you can call me
like Carol Burnett.
Yeah, that did. I should be pulling my ear or something. Yeah. But you can call me anytime. Anything I can do to help, that.
Thank you so much. That means a lot because it'll probably happen. I try not to be a pest. I really do try not to be a pest.
You can be a pest. That's all right. You can call either one of us. We love to talk to everybody. So
good. Oh, good. Yeah. I ordered and this is another thing. My memory hasn't been the same since all this happened, but the base plates I ordered and they said they were going to be here, but there's a delay. So
yeah.
I can't wait to get them.
Yeah, that's the USPS for us.
Yeah, mail.
I was on the phone with them the other day for an hour and 10 minutes on hold. And then they said that I could leave a number and they would call back and I wouldn't lose my place in line. Or I could stay on hold. So I stayed on hold and then I got disconnected. And then I tried the next day and I tried that leaving my name after about 45 minutes, left my name, never heard anything back. So
but it's all of the shipping services are running behind all of this crazy weather and all this stuff all over the place. All of the shipping services are running behind, not just USPS, but UPS, all of them are. So we'll get past it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my base plate is completely, it's perfect. I just want a backup. And so then I ordered the straight edge, but then I got one for my Harbor Freight because I've never tried to use the base plate with that. And there's some things I would like to be able to do that with because of the size, right?
Yeah.
It's really my hands, but with that router base, I think I could really make it happen.
Yeah, that makes a difference.
Yeah, just go buy those router bases that, it'll make it happen. It changed the whole situation when I bought the router base from y'all for the 611.
Terrific.
Yeah.
Terrific. All right.
All right.
Well, we're going to get out of here. We'll let you carry on with your evening. I know it's evening there, a little bit later than it is here. So,
4, 6, yeah.
Thank you again so much. God bless you. And I hope you guys, hope you and your husband have some good times together when he comes back off the boat.
We always do. It's party, our partying isn't like some parties, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. That's like us. We're not like social butterflies or, our party is just downtime.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he has a lot of honeydews when he gets home. I try not to make the list too long, but we're usually doing projects. We'll find a project that we can do together. I'm the shutters for the shed, the shop and stuff, and yeah. We have a good time, and it's always it's always very nice when he gets back home.
Okay. All right, young lady, you take care of yourself, stay healthy, and if you need anything, you give us a call.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
Okay.
Good night.
All right.
Good night.
Good night.
Let's see. There we go.